Good evening, everyone. So it is November 30th, and I saw a couple people wearing the poppy still, and I've also noticed people put the poppy on about 2 weeks before November, and I'm just wondering, you think you're a better rememberer than me? Is that what it is? Because you know what? August, I'm gonna put 5 poppies on and remember the shit out of the veterans, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. This past summer, actually, I went to France for a few days, actually, I only had. And just before the flight, interesting thing when you go through Canadian security, because I'm sure a lot of you have gone through security, what you have to do is you have to take your gels and your toothpaste out of your bag, put it in another bag, and then put that bag back into your original bag. And I'm wondering, are we thwarting terrorism by organization? Is this, Mohammed, what happened? Well, they told me to put the gels in the bag, and then with the second bag, it created a force field, and I couldn't activate the bomb. I'm so sorry. But, and then on the flight, you're going overseas, so you're going over a body of water. And so when you're doing that, there's a change to the normal announcement, the safety announcement at the beginning of the flight. They mentioned this fact, and they said, all right, in the unlikely event that we land on water, remain calm. Reach for your life preserver and follow these instructions. No, okay, hold on 1 second. If you are landing on water, you gotta give people a little bit of a heads up. It should sound more like, in the unlikely event that we land on water, you are gonna see some crazy shit. There is gonna be people barfing, you are gonna smell feces, people are gonna shit themselves. There's not gonna be one, there's gonna be a couple guys jerking off because they get off on danger. Danger is their fetish. Maybe give yourself a couple strokes because you're going down. Like, remain calm. Yeah, we're in the middle of the Atlantic. It's okay. Jesus Christ. So I have a niece now who's 8, and it's a cool world they live in because they're starting to think abstractly, but they also believe in make-believe. So we were out one time and we saw a rainbow, and I told Leia, I was like, hey Leia, do you know that at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold and a leprechaun? And she's like, really? There's a leprechaun and a pot of gold? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, what if wouldn't someone take the gold? Like, what if we showed up and the gold was missing? Like, would we ask the leprechaun where it went? And I'm like, oh my God, like I never thought about that. And I thought, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Probably the first question I asked the leprechaun is, how many hits of acid did I just take? But, yeah, no, I never told that. So, I live in Toronto, and it's cool living in Toronto or like just a bigger city because you can get away with living poor, but having an excuse for it. So people are like, oh yeah, I was living in Toronto, because most of my family and friends are still in Winnipeg. I'm like, oh, it's great, you know. I got a bike. It's so easy getting around on a bike because I can't afford a car. And I love people. You know, I love coming home and having people to chat with because I can't afford my own place. And like going on dates with girls, like, most girls have jobs, I guess, that I date, so they can't meet up till later. How's going for drinks at 9? Perfect, no dinner till perfect. I like that. There are some freaky girls out there though, and I was dating this girl a few months ago, and a thing that she liked was to watch her man jerk off while she masturbates. Can I get freaky with you guys? I think we can get freaky, right? Let's get freaky. We're there. And so she's like, do you think you could do that for me? I'm like, in my mind, I didn't want to be, sound so keen, but I'm thinking, I'm gonna dominate this activity. I gotta jerk off. This is gonna be awesome. So then you start thinking, like, what, like, she's gonna be watching me, and I gotta be honest, this was a first for me. So I'm wondering, how do I look like when I'm jerking off? Because when I'm jerking off, it's like it's a task. So I just gotta get it out of the way. So I feel like I'm just angry, like it's an angry activity. You know what I mean? There's no passion in it. It's not like I'm kissing anybody or and so then I'm like, oh, I gotta sort of make it look like, I don't know, make it look like something other than this angry beast that wants to tear someone's face off if I can't come in 3 minutes. So then I'm like, going at it, I'm like, she's like, no. She's like, no. She's like, jerk off like nobody's watching. Oh, okay. And then I'm thinking, well, there's a saying out there, dance like nobody's watching, because when you're in public, sometimes you're a little shy, you'll dance a little more reserved. But there's never been a time I've jerked off in public. I have no point of reference. It's not like I've been at the supermarket, and I'm like, well, I'm at the supermarket, I gotta half-ass it, there's kids around. I gotta subtly jerk off. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, it's not like I have a crazy extreme where I go like